All right, we'll try this again here in just a minute. Give me a second. I'm sending out an app update real fast, and then we'll get on it here in just a second, everybody. So. All right. So I wanted to just do a little quick Facebook Live and YouTube Live update here for you as we're taking a look at these little thunderstorms that are pushing through the north central part of Texas now. These are actually developing along a cold front. The cold front is actually pushing through now. We've seen some of these thunderstorms redevelop along the front. Overall, these storms are not that intense. They're what we consider sub-severe, meaning they're not severe. But they do contain some downpours and maybe some small pea-size hail. I got a report of some pea-size hail a short while ago in Iowa Park. And if I zoom in a little closer, there might be some of that pea-size hail over Burkburnett now and moving to the east. It might continue to maybe try to intensify a little bit, but the overall severity of this storm is going to be confined to some mostly small hail. It may grow a little bit as it moves over into parts of Jefferson and into Clay County. But what happens in a situation when the storms develop along the front, I can almost kind of stop it here. What happens is the thunderstorm, the updraft goes up along the front, but the front's moving pretty quickly, so the front actually moves out in front of the thunderstorm and what's called undercuts the updraft. So it keeps the warmer, more moist air from really flowing into it at the Earth's surface. So a lot of what you see is kind of a little bit elevated in nature, but nothing too severe, nothing too significant. But, we've had this threat for severe weather over us today. And, at least earlier on, it was a pretty significant severe weather threat. So I just wanted to make sure to go on here and just make sure to give you guys a little quick weather update here real fast to let you know that this is not something that that I'm overly concerned with at this hour. Most of what we're seeing here is, again, just downpours and confined to small hail. There could be some gusty winds with it. We can look at the velocities and you don't see any greens matching up with the reds here anywhere, and you might see some of these little pink colors up to the north. There might be some gustier winds across parts of Jefferson and northern Clay County with it. As a matter of fact, it sounds like the winds are blowing pretty good here at the station at this tower. I can go down here into the city, and these winds to me just don't look all that intense. Maybe 30, 40 miles per hour at most, at best, at least on the radar here. I'm just looking to see if there's any signs of any spin, and there's just not going to be that. If you walk outside out ahead of this line, there's not even any wind blowing. It's just super humid. So these thunderstorms are just the front, the cooler air, and a change in wind directions interacting with the warm, humid air we have outside tonight. Actually, it's kind of cool and humid air outside tonight, and that's why they're kind of seeing a little bit of an uptick here. The overall severe threat with these is very, very low and confined to hail, and most of which is small hail. They almost kind of have a little bit of a supercell structure, but once again, the front is undercutting the updraft, so I don't expect much in the way of significant severe with this, but there might be a little bit of hail with it, I suppose, from time to time. It looks like tornado watch does continue for at least parts of the area, but the overall spin of the atmosphere isn't very significant at this time. But we'll watch them and see and make sure they don't do anything. Make sure they don't get out of nothing that gets too out of hand here. But again, no warning showing up as of right now with these thunderstorms. But you can expect some lightning strikes. And where I'm looking at on the western side here, especially up there towards Burke, I'm finally getting some rain here at the station. You can see a little bit of hail, a little pink color. That represents that pea-size hail I was just talking about. But you go on down throughout parts of the city, and you really don't even see that much, even down towards the downtown Wichita Falls area. A little uptick in the storm across northern Archer that might develop into Lakeside City. So hopefully my wife is watching. She will. I think we closed all the windows and doors and stuff at the house there, so I don't think we have to worry about that. Now the cell up there is kind of east of Burke. It is showing a bit of an uptick there. It's kind of growing a little bit. So you might see some of the hail kind of spread out some with that as it makes its way through Jefferson County. I'm going to take a look here and see if there's anything from our friends up at the Weather Service. I don't think that it's going to be. They've been busy up there. Especially north of Tulsa tonight, they've had a couple tornadoes there. So do see a report of some pea-size hail in Burkburnett. And we can take a look here. Yeah, the Weather Service really isn't saying much about this particular storm at this time. Just some pea-sized hail with it, basically, is all we're seeing here at this hour with these storms, and they'll continue to. They're going to move. They're moving really fast. The upper-level jet stream is blowing over the area super, super fast tonight. So these storms are moving at warp speed. So they're going to be through here pretty quick. They'll produce brief downpours, but they'll be in here and out of here fast. So you won't get near as much rainfall as with slower moving thunderstorms. And it does sound like the winds have picked up at least a little bit outside with these. I'd say at least here at the station about 30, maybe 40 at the most. And it's pouring down rain here too, but it's not going to last long. We've been raining here for about the last 5 minutes. And, at least with the storms moving through the city, that's probably about right. It probably rain probably 10, 15 minutes at most, and then it'll push on through. That little pea-sized hail area is across the Red River, southern parts of Cotton County, the northern parts of Clay County, headed towards Eureka and into the Stevens County area. You're next. You'll get in on some of these storms. If they can continue to show a bit of an uptick, there might be some slightly larger hailstones over that way. But in general, right now, it doesn't appear to be too bad. It's blowing on through the city. Now, I do expect this little thunderstorm that is down to the south here, that's down towards Archer County at this hour. I do expect this.
I was going to change your batteries.
No, I'm using them right now. It's fine.
I wait.
It's good, man. So we're looking at the thunderstorm that's blowing through Archer County. It's probably building into Lakeside City at this hour, right over Lake Wichita, with some brief downpours and maybe a ding or two of very small hail with that particular storm. These will make their way quickly over into northern Clay County, from about Lake Arrowhead up to Dean and Jolly, Henrietta, Petrolia, Charlie getting in on it too. Again, these are mostly going up north of Lake Arrowhead. You get down to the south, there's a few little thunderstorms trying to develop north of Graham along that front itself, but it looks like most of the action is going to be north. There were quite a few storms that formed kind of over our southeastern counties, so I think the instability down that way is completely gone. And there's just barely enough here along the front for it to be able to produce these thunderstorms as they blow on through. The overall severe threat with these storms remains very, very low at this hour. We have had some pretty good lightning strikes on our tower cams tonight. This is probably looking in the wrong direction. This is actually probably looking back. Well, it's probably the right direction there. I needed to turn around a little bit, look to the north, but I was going to see if we saw any of the lightning strikes. We did have some good lightning on it not long ago, but the lightning appears to have, probably the other direction is probably what it needs to be facing, I would imagine. So let's go back over to the radar, and there are those storms blowing on through. You see some pretty heavy rains, and where you see those darker red colors, that's where that really heavy rain is now. It looks like it's raining over Lake Wichita, Lakeside City at this hour, and pushing through Wichita Falls pretty fast. Making sure that the winds haven't picked up any. Might be some stronger winds up there towards Taylor, and right along the Red River between Clay County and Jefferson County, maybe the extreme northeastern part of Wichita County. May see some of these stronger winds trying to make their way over into parts of Jefferson and Stevens County too. So strong wind gusts up that way associated with these cells. Down into Wichita Falls, just some downpours. Just looking at the winds, I don't see anything in the way of spin with these thunderstorms. That certainly is some good news. And basically all you're going to see is just some good downpours, and they probably won't even last long. It rained here at the station for about 5 minutes. Maybe a little bit longer there in northern Clay County, but Lakeside City, the south side of Wichita Falls, 5-10 minutes, and then we'll pass